So one of the things that I'm going to talk about today and put on my blog is that what got me into the door with CrossFit and what were misconceptions I had and what were things that I didn't know would be at CrossFit. Misconceptions were that it would just be very high paced, full of just athletes that are like CrossFit game level, and I would just go in and feel super just outmatched by all the competitors that would be there. And that one couldn't be the further from the truth, but the opposite was even better. The community style that I walked into at CrossFit was insane, even within those first few days. Most gyms have you go through a training process to just learn the general movements first, and that's kind of off separate from the whole rest of the gym. But even though I'm doing completely my own workout just to test the movements, I still got so included in so well from the get-go. Now, one will look at the coach's job and say, well, that's what they're supposed to be doing, which they are. But the thing that really surprises me is how much the members are doing that. The members, even when I finally could start going to the classes, I can't tell you how many times I would do a movement or more realistically, not be able to do a movement. And even sometimes a member who'd only been there like a month before me would come up and they would say, hey, don't worry, I was literally there just a month ago. And now I can have found super good success with doing that exercise. In fact, to the point to where they almost even enjoy it, which boggled my mind from the beginning, because it's like, you have no obligation, but you're wanting to help me anyway and help this whole ecosystem of people building each other up. I personally believe that if you have an environment where if I'm trying to influence people and at the same token be influenced, that's a good spot to be at. And then if you can have a community of people that are all trying to do that, I think that right there is the lead reason that CrossFit sees a lot of success and sees a lot of retention. Often with most sport or gym or whatever, fitness in general, they'll see a really high uptick in members joining in the beginning, but their retention rate's low. And I think that is due to the fact that the community style isn't always great at some gyms, and yeah, every gym's different, so they can have things that are similar. I think the other reason it doesn't seem to succeed so well is there's not as much accountability, and I think you need that, especially in those beginning phases. So just practical example, there are plenty of days where I woke up early and the last thing I want to get up and do is go to the gym and do a really difficult workout. But the thing that got me going is I know that if I didn't go today, going tomorrow would be more difficult. Because when I did go to the gym, not only does the coach obviously know I didn't show up, but all the people in my class know I didn't show up. And that level of just accountability, but even almost pressure to know that I've got to show up because they're going to, gets me in the door. And it's, I imagine, the same for them. It's literally building on top of each other to where that's what promotes me to want to do more fitness. Because I'll be honest, I'm very into fitness and wanting to keep my body healthy, because I have personal convictions that I think that's what I should be doing as a person. But at the same time, there are plenty of days where it's the last thing I want to do. And for those days, I think it's very key to try and put things in place. And I think that's what CrossFit does so well. I think that's what leads to its success. And I think that's why CrossFit should not, when you think of CrossFit, you should not think of the CrossFit Games athletes first. You should think of the local gym, the people who struggled with weight loss for years and years and years and just were like, I've tried everything and it's not worked. And then they go to CrossFit and those first 2 weeks are rough. They really are. But the third week, it's like, whoa, I could do something I couldn't even do from week one. So you see improvement and you see pretty drastic change, and they're scaled for your whatever area of fitness you're at, and that's what makes it perfect. Anyone can join and anyone can contribute. And when you have that type of environment, of course it's going to succeed. We can see that in the business world. We can see that in religious groups. It's no coincidence, and that's what gets me in the door. And I think that's definitely my favorite thing of CrossFit.